The road near my house has been closed for 2 weeks. There was never a gas leak. I'm sorry, because what I'm about to tell you will sound like the kind of bullshit people make up when they want strangers online to pay attention. But made-up stories don't park two black SUVs outside your house every night for 2 weeks and pretend not to watch your windows. Believe me, don't believe me. That's not really why I'm writing this. Just know the road near my old house is still blocked. They say it's because of a gas leak. There is no gas line there. We had electric everything because Dina was scared of open flames. She said indoor fire felt primitive and wrong, and I thought she was just being dramatic. That's funny now, in a sick way. Dina and I had been married for 10.5 months. We were stupid in love, embarrassing love, the kind where one of us would leave to buy something and the other would already be texting before they reached the store. We fought too, badly, over nothing, over dishes, over my work at the Research Institute, over her saying I wasn't really listening, over me saying she always sounded like she was translating normal human emotions from a manual. That one made her cry. I apologized for it for 2 days. I didn't know then how close I was. The night it happened, I came home late. I was shaking from coffee and hunger and whatever you call it when your whole life is just cracked open. I had done it. Not the final machine, obviously, but the math. The ugly part. The part everyone said was impossible. Star drive. Faster than light. Whatever name you want. I don't know what they'll call it when they finally show you. If they ever do. I had it in my bag. Dina had dinner ready. That should have scared me right away, because Dina did not cook when she was happy. She cooked when she was trying not to fall apart. There were candles on the table. Cheap ones. One had burned down into this sad little blob. Pasta, garlic, wine. She was wearing my shirt. Bare legs. Hair still wet from the shower. God, she was beautiful. That's the thing I hate most. Not that she lied. Not that I was just a chore. That I can still see her and want her. She said, "You're late." I said, "You're scary." She laughed, but not right. A little too late. You know how you learn someone? Not the big stuff. The tiny stuff. How they breathe when they're mad. How they say fine when it's absolutely not fine. How they kiss you when they want sex versus when they want forgiveness. That laugh was wrong, but I wanted to ignore it. I wanted dinner, and her, and that stupid little moment where I got to tell my wife I had done something impossible. So I ignored it. She came over and kissed me before I even put my bag down. Hard kiss. Teeth, wine, salt. Like she was mad at my mouth. Then there was a bitter taste. I said, "What the hell is that?" Or I tried to. My tongue got thick. My fingers went numb. The bag slid off my shoulder and hit the floor. Dina caught me. Caught me like I weighed nothing. That was another thing she forgot to hide. She lowered me down onto the kitchen tile. Gentle, careful, like I was drunk and she was embarrassed for me. I couldn't move. Not couldn't move like panic. Couldn't move like my body had been unplugged. I could breathe, barely. I could see. I could hear. I could feel the cold tile under my cheek. She sat on the floor and pulled my head into her lap. Then she wiped spit from my chin with her thumb. That almost broke me. I know that sounds pathetic, but when someone poisons you and still wipes your mouth because she can't stand seeing you like that, your brain doesn't know where to put it. She was crying by then. Quietly. Not movie crying. Ugly crying. Nose running. Shoulders shaking. Trying not to make noise, which was very Dina, because even then she didn't want to make it about her. Then she explained, just enough. Not everything. People in stories explain too much. Real people don't. Real people choke on half of it and repeat themselves. She wasn't from here. Not from Earth. She had been sent because of me. Not because I was special. Because I might become special. Her people had ways of knowing which humans were likely to open certain doors. My name came up. She was supposed to get close. Slow me down. Push me left when I should have gone right. And she did for a while. The job I didn't take. The paper I gave up on. The nights she pulled me back to bed when I was close to something. The trips she begged me to take right before a deadline. The fights. Jesus, the fights. They had told her to kill me months earlier. She didn't betray them. She stalled. That was all her love was worth in the end. She said humans couldn't be allowed out there. We like playing with fire too much. Not yet. Maybe not ever. We were too fast. Too angry. Too good at turning pain into tools. She said that part like she hated us. Then she touched my face like maybe she was hoping love had finally worn off. It should have been simple. Kill the husband. Take the math. Get on the ship. Hero of whatever hell she came from. Her people were coming for her before dawn. I would be dead. My lab would burn in a way that looked like my fault. Clean. That word made me want to laugh, but my mouth didn't work. Clean. My wife sat there holding me like she used to after panic attacks, except this time she was the reason I couldn't move. You're probably thinking I was a naive idiot. Some dead-eyed scientist who knew math, but not his own wife. Too busy chasing equations to notice what was sleeping next to him. I wasn't. I actually had known for months. Not known, like I had a photo of her with antennae or whatever stupid thing you're imagining. I knew the way husbands know things and then hate themselves for knowing. She was wrong in small places. The first real crack was a cut on her hand that closed while I was still reaching for a towel. She laughed it off and said I'd imagine how bad it was. The second was finding her barefoot in the yard at 3 in the morning, whispering into the dark while every insect in the grass had gone silent. There were other things, too. Small things. Things you can explain once, maybe twice, until explaining them starts to feel stupider than the truth. Eventually, I called an old friend of my dad's. I didn't want to. I sat with the phone in my hand for almost an hour, because making that call meant admitting that the thing in my bed was not my wife in any normal sense. He didn't sound shocked. That scared me more than anything. He asked me 3 questions, very calmly, and by the third one I understood he already knew what she was. Then he said, "Do not confront her. Do not try to leave. If she thinks you know, you won't survive the night." That was when it landed properly. Dina wasn't a mystery anymore. She was a placement. She was there for me, for the work, and sooner or later she was going to finish what she had been sent to do, which is exactly what happened. Then I met the others. Men and women with normal clothes and dead faces, asking questions nobody should know to ask. Not just about Dina, about her sex, our fights, her blood, her sleep, the words she used when she was angry, whether she ever got sick, whether animals acted strange around her, whether lights flickered when she touched them, whether I had ever woken up and found her watching me. Nobody looked shocked enough. That was when I learned they had been chasing this for years. Not aliens, exactly. Traces, shadows, bad transmissions, burned bodies, missing scientists, houses cleaned too well, bodies found with organs that did not fail in any way human medicine understood. Nothing whole, nothing useful. They didn't need proof aliens existed. They needed one of them alive, but even that wasn't the real prize. The real prize was what came to pick them up. A ship, a working one, not another fried transmitter, not a melted implant, not some dead thing on a table with all the useful parts burned out. A ship meant propulsion, shielding, power, navigation, alloys, control systems, the actual machinery of how they move through space. Not theory, not guesses, hardware. So we made me bait. The breakthrough was real, but the timing was fake. The notebook was bait. The public lecture next week was bait. The little hints I dropped at work were bait. The house was the trap. The busted plumbing? Trap. The new water heater Dina hated because it made the closet smell like metal? Trap. The landscaping crew that tore up our backyard for 3 days while Dina complained they were killing her lavender? Trap. Under our house was enough human desperation to pull something impossible out of the sky. But only if she called them close. Only if she didn't just run. Only if she loved me enough to say goodbye. Do you get how disgusting that is? I used the thing I was angriest about. I used us. At some point she looked down and saw my face. Not my fear. Not my pain. My guilt. Marriage is a curse. You can't hide in your own face. She stopped touching my hair. She whispered, "No." That was all. Just no. Then how long? I couldn't answer. She looked at the bag on the floor. The notebook. The candles. The windows. All of it. And she understood. I saw my wife die right there, without anyone shooting her. They didn't. Before anything fell from the sky. Whatever she thought we had, whatever little piece of us she believed was clean, it broke. Our marriage was a big fucking total sham. A trap with wedding photos on the wall and her hair in my shower drain. She was using me. I was using her. We both had our noble excuses. But when she put her hand on my face, it still felt like home. The lights went out. Not like a power outage. Like the dark had weight. The windows filled with white. The whole house made this deep animal sound. Metal screamed inside the walls. My teeth hurt. Blood ran out of my nose onto the tile. Dina crawled off me and tried to stand. She was still trying to reach the back door when the sky tore open. I didn't see a ship. Not clearly. I saw shapes where the stars should be. I saw the yard bending upward like it wanted to leave. I saw Dina in the white light, one hand on the doorframe, looking back at me. She could have killed me then. Then the world punched itself inside out. I woke up in a hospital with tubes in me and two government men pretending to be doctors. They got it. That's what they told me. Intact enough. I didn't care, really. They didn't tell me about Dina at first. I had to ask 3 times before one of them finally looked at the other and said, "She got out." I laughed because I thought he meant she had escaped the room. Then he said she had shed the human layer, like it was clothing, like my wife was something she could peel off and leave on the floor. The other one said, "You don't want to see what was underneath." I asked anyway. They told me what she looked like underneath. I could hear the disgust in their voices. "Sorry you had to live with that," one said. Something soft and deep and awful twisted inside my chest. In the end, he got the breakthrough he wanted, but at the cost of the woman he loved. Was the price too high? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you betray the person you love for the sake of humanity? If you enjoyed this cosmic thriller and want to see more stories that challenge your mind, hit subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. Don't let the next mystery pass you by. Thanks for watching.